So I'm getting ready to run a couple pocket screws. I thought I'd take a minute and just show you real quick how to set the jig up for the different thicknesses of wood and types of screws you're going to use. So take a look. So the way this jig is set up, you can use this independent on by itself using the various clamps. Or it's got this little click pin here. You can simply pull that out, follow the line here for the thickness of wood that you're going to be using. In my case, I'm going to be 3/4. So bring that down and that little pin falls right into the indents on the back of the jig. So it really takes a lot of the guesswork out. So as long as you know the thickness of your wood, 3/4. Next, you want to set the drill bit up for your the length of screw. Well, 3/4 requires using 1 1/4 inch screws. So you simply drop this down into one of the slots. This little guide block here, you'll see it's listed out by screw length. We're going to use the 1 1/4, so we're going to fall back into that hole, and you simply place this down until the shoulder of this bit falls right on that jig. Then you simply lower the stop collar down, and your bit is ready to go. So that's a quick setup on the jig. So line that up by the thickness of your material. Set the stop collar up based on the length of your screws in the little set jig. Lock it in, rock and roll. Next, you have to set the actual jig up for your piece of wood. So you can simply set your piece of wood in there, depress down on this. This little setup moves forward. You can kind of get it close until it snaps in, and you may have to play with that a little bit to get just the right. That's pretty good. So I don't think that's going to go anywhere. Wood's stable, and now you're ready to rock and roll. So now this is set so you can make repeatable cuts. You've got indentation lines on the top here, so you can sort of set your board up how you want it for this board. I'm hoping that's going to work, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. If it does, I'll kind of center that up on the edge, drill my 2 holes, and we'll see what it looks like. So I've got a piece of scrap here, identified by the word scrap, so that we know that it's scrap. I've got a square corner on it. So I'm going to line that up right along this edge, keeping it stable to the base. Clamp it in place. I'm going to mount my drill bit in my drill. And I think that's going to be okay. So I'm going to use these 2 outer holes on my particular setup to make this frame. That's going to give me plenty of stability. You can see the holes did not go through, but the screws themselves it will barely punch through once I give it a little movement. There we go. So just minimal movement and it pops right through. So anyway, that's the quick setup on lining up the jig.